What's going on, YouTube? Today I thought I'd do a little recording. I'm going to try to catch some footage of the 14th Annual Frag Swap in Madison, Wisconsin. There's going to be a saltwater show and I'm going. It's been a long time since I've gone to another one. 2 years ago I went. Beautiful coral, lots of people, lots of vendors, lots of selection. It was a wonderful show to go to. So going again, going to go check it out. I don't know what to be able to expect. And this time it's just me. So I figured I'd take the time to explain what's been going on for the last year. 2018 is my hope for new change. 2017 was my hope for new change. And dear goodness, did I get slapped up the face with that one. Did not work out in my favor. I worked for Petco back in 2016. I worked there for the second time. It was a second building. I had been transferred. I was just the fish guy, and my boss was such a prick. Excuse the language. But he was awful. It was a miserable, awful experience. A lot of people telling you didn't know what you were doing, you were shit at your job, blah, blah, blah. It was just terrible. So I'm going to do a Petco rant video about that, which I'm going to catch up to next, hopefully, after the 90 gallon. So that happened. I went and worked in a mill for 7 months. I saved up some money, and I heard that my job was no longer going to be a thing because they were going bankrupt in 2 months. So I put in my 2 weeks, and I took the money I made, and my girlfriend and I went for a road trip. We've been together now for almost a year and a half, and we traveled the states, 11 states in 2 weeks. Colorado, Utah, Idaho. We went to Angel's Landing, hiking for hours, driving for miles. Oh, goodness. It was beautiful. Take me back. I'd go back again. So, went, took the trip. I moved up north when I came back home. I came home. I moved 3 hours north. Closer to my girlfriend where she'd be staying for the summer, but not where she was living. I lived in a duplex with one other roommate and no other neighbors because no one was moved in. It was in the middle of the woods. No service, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. So I couldn't make videos. It was hard to make videos. I brought up a 5 gallon just to be able to do a little nano setup to keep you guys at least informed I was still alive. But it was hard to make videos with such little content. So now that I'm actually moved back down 3 hours south, don't get me wrong, it was a beautiful time. Waterfalls, fishing, up north was wonderful. I had a great break. Coming back south, I had the news of my parents are getting a divorce. Getting a divorce, and they're selling the fish house, fish rooms, the original place where I started making videos. If you followed me all this way, is being sold. It is being sold. My parents are getting a divorce. I'm okay. Life happens. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, and just because it's your own blood doesn't mean that it's any different. So I get it, I understand it, I feel for my siblings, I hope they're okay, and I wish them the best with this process, and I stop and I visit the best I can, but I'm just busy. I'm just busy. So on top of being busy, I've been working a whole heck of a lot on my hobby. So I'm definitely going to be showing off a lot more on the fish tanks and oddities and oddballs. We're going to keep this stuff exciting. So stay tuned, stay in touch. Life is crazy, but I have an apartment with my girlfriend. We have a 90, 150, and a 40 gallon freshwater, and we're building it up and making it better than ever. So stay in touch. We'll see how the show goes, and I'll talk to you guys when we get there. All right, we're here. It's busy. There are cars. There are people. There are a lot of people. So, this should be interesting. Let's get inside and see how it looks.
Alright, so this is one of the first vendors I ended up walking over to. I had a lot of designer clownfish, beautiful looking clownfish, and they all seem to be in really good condition. So no corals or anything, but it was something interesting to see for sure out of the rest of the group. As you can look around, you can see that there are plenty of people. There was lots of squishing around to be able to see what corals everyone was offering, but when you got up front, beautiful displays were seen. You saw a lot of open brains, and I feel like a lot of torch, a lot of frog spawns, and a lot of hammers. Midwest Aquaculture, who I ended up buying one of their yellow hammers from, actually had really good prices compared to a majority of the group that I noticed around them. So I wish I almost would have bought some more from them, but I did my visiting and checked out whatever variety it had. This is blue line coral. He did have a section where he offered his zoanthids, palithoas, favia, brain, war corals. He had some scolies, but of course, as you veer over to the left, he had some more frog spawns, torches, and hammers. So I picked one of the pink hammers from this guy. Everything looked really good, don't get me wrong. I don't think I got it in the video, but he had a beautiful, I think it was a sunfire torch coral yellow, something like that. Absolutely beautiful coloration to it, but at a $200 price tag, it wasn't something I was jumping on anytime soon. So definitely a lot of good looking coral, definitely a lot of different things to be able to check out and see. I'm glad with what I ended up leaving with, and I was pleased with everything I picked out.
All right, so that is the 14th annual Mars Frag Swap. Being my second one now, I will say the first one I remember going to 2 years ago was a lot more people. I feel like there were a lot more vendors, and I feel like there was a lot more variation in pricing. You noticed there were a lot of tables that were pretty close on their prices as far as being comparable to one another, which is hard to be able to say that you're going to sell out all your stuff if you're just as expensive as the guy next to you or just as cheap as the guy next to you. So I saw a couple people wash all of their stuff out, and they sold within the first 2 hours of being there, and some other vendors still had a full rack of coral and whatnot sitting there. So it really did depend on all your prices. Lots of beautiful coral, lots of people, lots of good people. I did save some cards, so I'm going to give some shout out to the people that I bought coral from. Of course, I have a box behind me, live tropical fish. I have 2 lionfish that I specifically ordered for this. So we'll see how things look when I get them on back home, but I got another 2-hour drive to do. So I will see you guys in a bit, and we'll fill you in on what I ended up getting out of the show. Sorry that some of the clips were a little short in the coral place, but when you pull up a camera, people look at you and go, "Why are you recording my coral?" And I don't understand why it's such a problem. So, short clips, tried my best. Wasn't a whole lot of tables. I covered the people that I bought from. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Alrighty, we're gonna see what I ended up bringing home from the Mars Frag Swap. That was a bad way to take that off, but okay. That'll work. Okay, so bunch of different things going on here. First off, we'll go with the big bag. There's a dwarf zebra lion and a dwarf fuzzy lion. That'll be a male, and I couldn't tell you about the dwarf zebra without getting a better look. I was supposed to be picking up a pair of dwarf fuzzies. That was the whole point, was picking up a pair of dwarf fuzzy lionfish. And I get there, and the bag reveal shows a dwarf zebra and a male dwarf fuzzy. I'm like, gosh darn it. But he took $10 off of the purchase. I want to see if I actually have, do I have all the cards in here? Or did I put them in a dumb spot? I think I got my wallet. We'll end up taking pictures of stuff. So I have them from Mermaid's Cove. And then I went through and I picked up some different frog spawn torch corals. Let's see what I got here. I think this is the torch. I think I paid $25 for a torch. It's got about what looks like 2 heads, maybe 3 heads. Good looking. We'll see how that looks underneath the LEDs. Obviously, you're not getting a whole lot of color out of them because they're not underneath anything, but we got another torch coral. One of them had more purple tips, one had more green tips. I'm a big fan of torches, frog spawn, hammer corals, hence the reason I actually picked up, I think this is more of a yellow hammer. Let's see how that looks all opened up. This is from a separate guy. Phenomenal so far. I mean, price, I think I paid, what did I pay for that? I think I paid $20. I paid $20 for this pretty decent head. So we'll see how this goes. So I got that one. And then we have, I'm pretty sure it's 2 heads. He sold it to me as one. It's another hammer coral, but it's more pink/red underneath the LEDs. So, good pieces. I can't wait till they're actually in the fish tank so you can tell what's actually going on. And I'll get them all situated and acclimating, and we'll tune in then. Alright, so everything's been acclimating now for the last hour. It's all looking pretty good. What do I got here? I've got the dwarf fuzzy lion and the dwarf zebra lion. Dwarf zebra's got a mark on the side that I noticed, so a little worried about that, but at the same time, it doesn't look like it's deep enough to really cause any kind of further infection. So I'm hoping it just heals up, I guess. So we'll see how that goes, but good looking male dwarf fuzzy. So a little disappointed I didn't have the pair, but it is what it is. It's 2 good looking lionfish that I didn't have before, so I really can't complain all too much.
And then I got 2 good looking hammer corals. I've got 2 beautiful looking torch corals. I'm excited to get those settled into the 90-gallon tanks. So I am going to get those all set in to their proper spots and housing, and we'll go from there.